Welcome back, paranormal enthusiasts. Thank you for joining us on this eerie journey through the realms of folklore and legend. Today, we delve deep into the haunting corridors of some of the most enigmatic places from across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay connected. And be sure to explore our thrilling playlist, Haunted History, where you will find more videos just like this. Now, let's embark on this thrilling journey together. Bodie, California is a town enveloped in mystery and intrigue, with a history that is rich with tales of the gold rush, Wild West lawlessness, and, allegedly, hauntings that continue to this day. Once a bustling hub, Bodie's population swelled to 10,000 during the boom of the 1870s and 1880s, when gold was discovered in the hills around Mono Lake. Today, Bodie stands as a state historic park with many buildings and streets preserved in a state of arrested decay. Visitors can walk through the town and see tables set with the original china and shops still stocked with supplies from a bygone era frozen in time. The atmospheric setting has become the backdrop for numerous reports of supernatural activity. Many visitors and staff have reported encounters with ghosts, particularly in some of the old hotels, schools, and the local church. Some claim to have seen the spectral image of former residents, such as a young girl who tragically died, or miners who once sought their fortune there. The apparitions are often described as appearing suddenly and then vanishing without a trace. One of the most intriguing tales is that of music playing from the shuttered bars. People have reported hearing ghostly tunes and laughter drifting from buildings that have long been closed and abandoned. This ethereal music, often thought to be from pianos or old-fashioned jukeboxes, creates a surreal experience that both fascinates and unnerves those who encounter it. But it's not just visual and auditory phenomena that have contributed to Bodie's reputation as a haunted locale. A well-known legend warns that anyone who takes anything, even a rock or a nail, from Bodie will be cursed with bad luck and health problems upon leaving. This curse is so famous that the park rangers reportedly receive packages regularly from regretful visitors returning pilfered items, accompanied by letters detailing their misfortunes since taking them. The alleged hauntings in Bodie continue to captivate ghost hunters, historians, and tourists alike, adding a mysterious allure to a place that already stands as a captivating window into the past. Whether these occurrences are genuine supernatural events or simply the products of active imaginations, they undeniably add to the town's unique charm and historical significance. Bonaventure Cemetery, located in Savannah, Georgia, has become renowned not only for its rich history and prominent occupants, but also for its eerie and captivating legends that have intrigued many. A quintessential example of Southern Gothic beauty, the cemetery is graced by Spanish moss-draped oaks that provide a gentle shade to the time-worn Victorian monuments scattered throughout the graveyard. If you were an avid reader during the 90s, you may recognize Bonaventure Cemetery as the evocative setting featured in the novel Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. The cemetery's air of enigmatic charm can certainly be felt throughout the pages of the book. Many distinguished individuals have been laid to rest here, including legendary singer Johnny Mercer and famed poet Conrad Aiken. However, among the resting, a particular grave has become a focal point for visitors and ghost enthusiasts alike: the grave of Gracie Watson. Gracie died tragically young, at only 6 years old, and her grave is adorned with a life-sized marble statue. The statue's hand rests on a tree stump, a symbolic representation of her life tragically cut short. Visitors moved by her story often leave toys at her grave as a tribute. It is here that the reports of paranormal activity have frequently emerged. Numerous visitors have claimed to have seen the ghost of little Gracie near her grave, appearing almost as lifelike as the marble statue. Witnesses describe her as a playful but melancholy spirit, often seen wandering near her gravesite. But Gracie's ghost is not the only mysterious phenomenon that has been reported at Bonaventure Cemetery. Other unsettling accounts have been documented over the years, giving the place an aura of mystique and unease. Inexplicable sounds, such as the cries of unseen babies and the distant barking of phantom dogs, have been reported to echo through the tombstones at night. Some visitors have even recounted statues within the cemetery seemingly coming to life. They describe approaching a grave only to witness the cold stone face of a statue curling into a smile, a phenomenon that defies rational explanation. These eerie occurrences have turned Bonaventure Cemetery into more than just a historical site. For those fascinated by the paranormal or simply looking for an experience beyond the ordinary, it stands as a testament to Savannah's rich tapestry of legends, mystery, and unexplained phenomena. Whether one believes in ghosts or merely enjoys a thrilling story, Bonaventure Cemetery offers an intriguing glimpse into a world where the line between the living and the dead seems hauntingly thin. Cahaba, Alabama, the state's first capital, is now renowned as a famous ghost town, gaining its name from its location at the confluence of the state's longest river, the Alabama, and the Cahaba River. After being abandoned in the aftermath of the Civil War, this once thriving town has since become a mysterious and haunting destination for those interested in the paranormal. Several chilling tales and ghostly phenomena are associated with Cahaba. Among the deserted buildings and eerie slave burial ground and long-forgotten cemeteries, there are frequent reports of unexplained sights and sounds that continue to draw ghost hunters and curious visitors. The most well-known haunting in Cahaba is undoubtedly the spectral tale related to Colonel C.C. Pegue's house. Shortly after the colonel was killed in battle, a strange and luminous floating orb began appearing in the garden maze on the property. This ghostly light, known as Peg's ghost, would dance mysteriously through the twists and turns of the maze, appearing to follow a path known only to itself. It is said to be an ethereal embodiment of the colonel's restless spirit, still lingering where he once lived. But Peg's ghost is not the only paranormal mystery in Cahaba. Visitors have also reported chilling whispers in the old courthouse, flickers of lanterns in buildings that have long stood empty, and ghostly apparitions wandering among the graves in the town's cemeteries. Some have even claimed to hear the clinking of chains near the slave burial ground, a haunting reminder of a dark period in the town's history. These ghostly encounters have led to Cahaba's reputation as a hub for paranormal activity, and it has become a popular setting for ghost tours. Guides often regale visitors with spine-chilling stories of the town's tragic past, the people who once lived there, and the unexplained events that have taken place since its abandonment. Whether it's the allure of the unknown or a fascination with the town's tragic history, Cahaba continues to attract visitors keen to explore its haunted landscape. Its mix of historical importance and spectral lore has made it a unique and captivating destination for those drawn to both the tangible and the inexplicable. Calcasieu Courthouse, located in Lake Charles, Louisiana, has become a notorious site due to its alleged hauntings tied to a tragic historical figure, Tony Joe Henry. Tony Joe Henry's life was marked by hardship and criminality. A former worker, she reached national levels of infamy after committing a cold-blooded murder in 1940. Her victim was Joseph P. Calloway, whom she and an accomplice robbed and killed. This led to her arrest, and her beauty and charm captured the public's attention as she stood trial. Her legal proceedings were anything but ordinary, as it took 3 intense trials to secure her conviction. The public followed her case closely, and she was often described as charming and manipulative. Finally, she was found guilty and became the first and only woman in Louisiana to be executed in the electric chair. Her execution took place on November 28, 1942, in the Calcasieu Parish Courthouse Jail. The legend of Toni Jo Henry's haunting at the Calcasieu Courthouse began shortly after her death. Employees and visitors have reported eerie occurrences that they attribute to her lingering spirit. Some claim to feel her presence in various parts of the building, particularly near the jail area where she spent her last days. Others have even reported smelling the distinct scent of burning hair, a grim reminder of her execution. The manifestations of her spirit are not limited to mere sensations and smells. Many courthouse workers assert that Toni Jo meddles with everyday life within the building, making life more difficult for the employees. Tales of mysterious events including unexplainable malfunctions with office equipment, doors locking by themselves, lights flickering without apparent cause, and objects moving inexplicably. Some paranormal investigations have been conducted at the courthouse to explore the authenticity of these claims, and some investigators believe they have captured evidence of Toni Jo's presence. Whether real or folklore, the haunting of Calcasieu Courthouse by Toni Jo Henry continues to be a part of Lake Charles's local culture and history. It draws curiosity from paranormal enthusiasts, tourists, and locals alike, contributing to the mystique and allure of this historic location. Since its construction in 1886, the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, has been a structure with a multifaceted history. Starting as a luxury resort, it later became a conservatory for young women and a junior college. But the strangest and perhaps most notorious chapter in its history began in 1937 when it was purchased by Norman G. Baker. Baker, a millionaire inventor with no medical background, made a controversial decision to turn the Crescent Hotel into a hospital that could cure cancer. He masqueraded as a doctor and promoted the facility as a healing center, promising desperate families and patients that he had found a miracle cure. His methods were eventually exposed as fraudulent, leading to his being run out of town. However, his connection to the hotel seemed to persist beyond his earthly life, with reports of alleging that Baker's spirit found its way back to the site. The hauntings at the Crescent Hotel go beyond Baker's spirit and are a significant part of its allure and mystique. Visitors and staff have reported eerie phenomena, and paranormal enthusiasts regularly explore the hotel for signs of the supernatural. The now operating Crescent Hotel is said to be haunted by at least 8 ghosts, each with distinct characteristics and backstories. A 5-year-old girl who is often seen playing in the hallways, her laughter echoing in empty rooms. A bearded man in Victorian clothing, whose appearance is often accompanied by the scent of pipe tobacco. The ghost of a nurse pushing a gurney, typically spotted near the old morgue area where Baker's hospital operated. A former patient who seems to be waiting for treatment, appearing confused and distressed. The apparition of a lady in a nightgown who has been seen dancing in the ballroom. The spirit of a cat, a former pet of a hotel resident, that can be heard purring or felt rubbing against people's legs. The ghost of Michael, a stonemason who fell to his death during the hotel's construction, often seen in the area where he died. And of course the menacing presence of Norman G. Baker himself, who has been spotted in his old office and other parts of the hotel. These alleged hauntings have turned the Crescent Hotel into a popular destination for ghost tours and paranormal investigations. The hotel embraces its eerie history, even offering tours that detail the bizarre and unsettling past. Whether visitors come for a luxurious stay or a brush with the otherworldly, The Crescent Hotel continues to be a place of fascination and intrigue, reflecting the complexity and mystery of its storied past. The Dock Street Theater in Charleston, South Carolina, is not just known as one of the oldest theaters in America, but it is also renowned for its alleged hauntings that make it a place filled with mystique and intrigue. Located in the historic heart of downtown Charleston, the site has borne witness to tumultuous history filled with drama both on and off the stage. Initially constructed in the 18th century, the original theater tragically burned down. On the very spot where the theater once stood, the Planters Inn was erected, creating a new chapter in the location's history. However, the building would return to its theatrical roots in the 1930s when it was converted back into a theater, melding both past and present into one storied structure. Among the spectral residents of the Dock Street Theater, the most flamboyant is undoubtedly the ghost of Nettie Dickerson. As legend has it, Nettie was a young and beautiful woman known for her flirtatious ways. Tragically, she was struck by lightning while standing on the balcony of the hotel, and it is said that her shadow has been reported gliding among the second floor of the theater ever since. Dressed in a stunning red gown, witnesses have described seeing her ethereal figure drifting with an otherworldly grace, leaving many chilled to the bone. In addition to Nettie's haunting presence, the ghost of Junius Brutus Booth, a renowned 19th century actor, has also been reported. Known for his powerful performances and also as the father of Lincoln assassin John Wilkes Booth, Junius was a frequent guest at the inn. Witnesses have claimed to see his ghostly figure lurking in the wings of the theater, perhaps forever attached to the stage he once graced. These ghostly apparitions, combined with the creaks and whispers that are said to permeate the building, have lent an eerie and mysterious aura to the Dock Street Theater. Over the years, ghost tours and investigations have drawn those curious about the paranormal to explore the theater's haunted history. Whether or not one believes in the ghosts of Dock Street Theater, the tales of its hauntings are firmly embedded in Charleston's folklore, and they continue to fascinate locals and visitors alike. They are a testament to the theater's rich history and its continued place in the cultural tapestry of Charleston, South Carolina, a place where the past lingers and the boundary between this world and the next might be just a little more permeable. The Driscoll, located in Austin, Texas, is a grand Romanesque hotel that features modern rooms and an iconic brick facade. Since its opening in 1886, the hotel has been a magnet for European tourists and has been the elegant backdrop for countless wedding celebrations. As an irreplaceable landmark in Austin's cityscape, the Driscoll embodies more than just architectural beauty. It's also renowned as a reputed dwelling for ghosts. Guests and staff alike have reported numerous unsettling incidents, from eerily abnormal sounds echoing through its ornate corridors to unexplained cold spots in various parts of the building. Some of the more frequent apparitions include sightings of the hotel's namesake, Jesse Driscoll. A portrait of the man himself still hangs in the lobby, and many claim to have seen his ghost wandering the hallways, lingering near the room he favored during his time. The legend behind Jesse Driscoll's haunting centers on his heartbreak of losing the hotel in a high-stakes poker game. Driscoll, a wealthy cattle baron who initially built the hotel, never recovered from his loss, and it's believed that his attachment to the place was so strong that he continues to watch over it from the afterlife. His ghost is often described as looking distinguished but sad, and it's not uncommon for guests to report smelling cigar smoke when he's said to be around. But Driscoll is not the only ghost believed to haunt the premise. Other reports include the haunting sounds of a little girl, said to have met her tragic end while playing with her ball on the grand staircase. Guests have often heard her giggling and the sound of a bouncing ball late at night. Another famous haunting involves a mysterious woman known as the Bride. Legend has it that over the span of a few decades, 3 brides-to-be took their own lives in the same room, and guests staying there have reported feeling an inexplicable sadness or sense of an unseen presence. Regular ghost tours are offered, guiding curious visitors through the haunted hotspots, regaling them with tales of the paranormal incidents that have been witnessed over the years. And despite the ghostly legends, or perhaps because of them, the Driscoll remains a beloved and sought-after destination, a place that's not just hard to say goodbye to, but one that offers an intriguing glimpse into Austin's storied past, both tangible and spectral. Whether one believes in the supernatural or simply appreciates the elegance and history of the place, the Driscoll offers an unforgettable experience, enhanced by the whispers of those who may have never left. The Eastern State Penitentiary, situated in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is an imposing castle-like structure that played a significant role in the history of the American penal system. Established in 1829, this prison was a pioneer in implementing the concept of solitary confinement, a system that amplified isolation to extreme levels. In the solitude of Eastern State Penitentiary, prisoners were made to live alone, eat alone, and even exercise alone. The level of isolation was so intense that whenever an inmate had to leave his cell, a guard would shroud his head with a hood to prevent him from seeing or being seen by others. This led to a profound sense of isolation and often mental distress among inmates. Overcrowding forced the prison to abandon its solitary system from 1913 until its closure in 1970. However, the abandonment of solitary confinement did not lead to a decrease in severity in the forms of punishment. A gruesome example of this is the chaining of an inmate's tongue to his wrists, reflecting the grim and harsh reality of the prison's disciplinary measures. Today, the Eastern State Penitentiary is infamous as one of the most haunted places in America, and its dark history seems to have left an indelible mark. It now welcomes thousands of visitors annually, serving both as a museum and as a host of the annual Terror Behind the Walls celebration, a Halloween event that features 15 haunted attractions within the prison's formidable walls. Alleged hauntings and paranormal occurrences have become a substantial part of the prison's lore. Visitors and staff alike have reported hearing unexplained and eerie disembodied laughter echoing through the empty corridors. Shadowy figures have been seen gliding through the cells and hallways, appearing and disappearing without explanation. The sound of pacing footsteps with no visible source has often been heard, adding to the prison's unsettling atmosphere. Some even claim to have felt sudden temperature drops and inexplicable feelings of being watched. Guides and paranormal enthusiasts often share stories of encounters with the ghosts of former inmates, still trapped within the walls of the penitentiary. These tales continue to fascinate and chill those who venture within the prison, turning the Eastern State Penitentiary into a must-see destination for those interested in exploring the intersections between history and the supernatural. New England, with its scenic landscapes and rich history, is often celebrated for its charming covered bridges. Among these, Emily's Bridge in Stowe, Vermont, stands out, not for its picturesque beauty, but for the eerie legends that surround it. Situated in the quaint town of Stowe, the 50-foot-long Emily's Bridge has become notorious as a hotspot for alleged paranormal activity. The bridge's haunting reputation dates back to a tragic event in the mid-1800s, when a young woman named Emily is said to have taken her own life on the bridge. According to the most common version of the legend, Emily had arranged to meet her lover at the bridge to elope. Dressed in her wedding gown, she eagerly awaited his arrival, but as the hours wore on, it became clear that he had abandoned her. Driven to despair, she hung herself from the bridge's rafters, a sad and haunting image that is now forever linked to this rustic structure. Since that tragic event, numerous visitors to the bridge have reported terrifying experiences. The most aggressive of these hauntings are attributed to Emily's restless ghost, who is said to express her rage and despair by clawing at passing cars. There have even been reports of pedestrians feeling sharp, inexplicable scratches on their backs that bleed, as though inflicted by unseen claws. But Emily's ghost is not only known for her malicious attacks. Many witnesses have described encountering slightly less menacing manifestations, such as images of a white apparition gliding near the bridge, or hearing strange voices and footsteps emanating from the dark tunnel of the bridge. These eerie occurrences have led to an endless stream of ghost enthusiasts and curious tourists visiting the site, often armed with cameras and recording equipment in an attempt to capture evidence of the supernatural. Other accounts add further layers to the story, with variations of the legend offering different explanations for Emily's lover's absence, such as a tragic accident on his way to the bridge, or even treachery and betrayal. Some locals also tell of strange, unexplained malfunctions with their vehicles as they cross the bridge, attributing these occurrences to Emily's lingering presence. Despite the frequent skepticism and attempts to debunk the stories, the legend of Emily's Bridge continues to thrive, making it one of Vermont's most famous haunted sites. Whether one views it as a chilling example of a broken-hearted ghost, or merely a captivating piece of folklore, Emily's Bridge remains a must-visit for those interested in the mysteries of the supernatural. The Honolulu International Airport in Hawaii is not just notorious for its flight delays and overpriced $13 sandwiches. It's also famed for its alleged haunting occurrences that send shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned travelers. The primary spectral entity at the airport is known as the Lady in Waiting. This haunting figure is described as a blonde woman donned in a white dress, and she is known to make appearances in restricted and off-limit areas of the airport. The legend of her origin is a tragic and romantic tale. According to the stories passed down, the woman fell deeply in love with a man who promised to marry her. Engulfed in love and anticipation, she awaited him at the gate for their journey to begin together. However, her love abandoned her, hopping on an international flight and leaving her heartbroken at the gate. Her ghost, it is said, still lingers there, forever waiting for the return of the man who betrayed her. But the Lady in Waiting is not the only strange phenomena reported at Honolulu International Airport. Passengers and staff have recounted other inexplicable occurrences that defy logical explanation. Some have described toilet paper rolls that spontaneously unravel on their own and toilets that flush without human intervention. While these occurrences may not be as dramatic or emotionally charged as the tale of the Lady in Waiting, they add to the airport's mystique, providing a chilling and eerie atmosphere that has led some to avoid certain areas altogether. These ghostly tales are so widespread that they have caught the attention of paranormal investigators, some of whom have tried to capture evidence of the ghostly encounters. Though no definitive proof has been found, the legend continues to thrive. Fueled by first-hand accounts from both travelers and airport staff, the stories of the haunting have become a part of the airport's folklore, turning an otherwise mundane layover into a thrilling and mysterious experience for those who dare to explore the legend of the Lady in Waiting and the other uncanny phenomena at Honolulu International Airport. Whether these tales are a product of collective imagination or rooted in some spectral truth, they remain an integral part of the airport's identity and allure. Flagstaff's Hotel Monte Vista, located in the heart of downtown Flagstaff, Arizona, is a site that has become renowned for its alleged paranormal activity. This iconic hotel, which opened its doors in 1927, boasts a rich history that includes a cast of ghostly inhabitants that many claim still linger within its walls. One of the most infamous spectral guests is the phantom of a long-term boarder in room 210. Legend has it that this unusual guest had a strange habit of hanging raw meat from the room's chandelier. The reason for this eerie practice remains a mystery, but it is said that subsequent guests have reported unexplained cold spots and mysterious sounds emanating from that room. Equally chilling are the reports of two women who met their demise at the hotel. Thrown from the third floor under suspicious circumstances, stories persist that these unfortunate souls now haunt the third floor, specifically targeting male guests. Witnesses have recounted waking in the night, feeling an unseen force trying to asphyxiate them, and some have even reported hearing faint whispers of the women recounting their tragic fate. The haunting doesn't stop there. The unsettling cries of an infant have been heard by staff and guests alike. Most often the cries are said to emanate from the basement, leading those who hear it to race upstairs in alarm. This particular ghost story has become a part of the hotel's folklore, and some speculate it may be connected to an undocumented tragedy within the hotel's past. In addition to these specific accounts, there are numerous other reports of paranormal activity at the Hotel Monte Vista. Some guests have claimed to see spectral figures dancing in the hotel's cocktail lounge, while others have reported unexplained noises, flickering lights, and even the sudden chilling sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Despite or perhaps because of these haunting tales, the Hotel Monte Vista remains a popular destination for tourists, paranormal enthusiasts, and even ghost hunting groups. The hotel embraces its ghostly reputation, offering information about its alleged hauntings, and even named some of its rooms after its spectral residents. Whether one is drawn to the hotel for its paranormal appeal or its historical significance, a stay at the Hotel Monte Vista in Flagstaff promises to be an unforgettable experience. The House of the Seven Gables, located in Salem, Massachusetts, stands as more than just an inspiration for Nathaniel Hawthorne's famous 1851 novel by the same name. In fact, the house predates the novel, being constructed in the 17th century, and has since become intertwined with Salem's rich and often eerie history. Salem, renowned for the infamous witch trials of the 1690s, serves as the birthplace of Hawthorne. Growing up in this atmosphere, it's no surprise that the author was inspired by this particular mansion. With its intricate gables and mysterious aura, the House of the Seven Gables is not just architecturally remarkable, but it is also enveloped in tales of the supernatural. Visitors and staff of the house have often reported strange occurrences, giving rise to the legend that the house is haunted. Ghost sightings, unexplained noises, and the eerie feeling of being watched are common experiences recounted by those who have explored the house. Some say that these spirits might be connected to the historical events of Salem, including the witch trials or the various families who have resided within the house's ancient walls. The stories of hauntings are not merely confined to legend. Every October, in the spirit of Halloween, the house hosts spooky tours led by guides well versed in the supernatural lore of the mansion. These tours allow guests to experience firsthand the chilling atmosphere and perhaps even encounter one of the resident ghosts. Additionally, the House of the Seven Gables presents weekly performances of two plays that resonate with the spectral theme: The Legacy of the Hanging Judge and Spirits of the Gables. These performances delve into the haunting history of Salem and the house itself, taking audiences on a journey through time and terror. The House of the Seven Gables is not only a place of literary history, but also a living testament to Salem's dark past and a focal point for those interested in the paranormal. Its beautiful yet foreboding facade is a doorway to a world of mysteries, legends, and alleged ghostly encounters that continue to intrigue and frighten visitors to this day. Whether or not one believes in ghosts, a visit to this historic site offers a unique glimpse into a fascinating chapter of American history and folklore. Lions, tigers, and ghosts? That's right. Lincoln Park Zoo, located in Chicago, Illinois, is not only known for its fascinating collection of wild creatures, but also for its chilling ghost stories. This popular family attraction has a dark history that makes it one of Chicago's most haunted locations. Dating back to the 1840s, the area where Lincoln Park Zoo now stands once served as this city cemetery, holding approximately 35,000 bodies. During the 1850s, concerns about the cemetery's proximity to the city's water supply led to the decision to move the burial grounds. Although most of the bodies were relocated, some were accidentally left behind, causing unsettling rumors to begin circulating. The history of moving cemeteries and disturbing burial grounds is often tied to hauntings, and Lincoln Park Zoo seems to be no exception. Many visitors and even some staff members have reported experiencing unexplained phenomena. Whispering voices, cold spots, and shadowy figures have all been observed within the zoo's premise. Famed parapsychologist Ursula Bielski once investigated the area and called it without a doubt the most active site I've investigated. Her studies, along with other reports, suggest a strong presence of supernatural activities tied to the forgotten souls that were once buried there. Ghost hunters and thrill seekers have been drawn to the zoo for years, hoping to catch a glimpse of the spectral entities. There are stories of ghostly apparitions dressed in 19th century clothing wandering near the Lion House, or phantom footsteps echoing in empty corridors. Some have even reported seeing the ethereal face of a woman peering through the windows. The zoo itself embraces its haunted history, offering ghost tours during the Halloween season that recount the macabre tales and share the numerous reported sightings. As yet, though, no ghostly animals have been sighted, leaving some to wonder if the spirits are confined to the human residents of the old cemetery. The Lincoln Park Zoo's haunted reputation adds a layer of intrigue to an already captivating destination. Whether you're an animal lover or a paranormal enthusiast, this Chicago landmark offers an experience that transcends the ordinary, bridging the gap between the living and the unseen world. It stands as a reminder that sometimes the past refuses to be completely forgotten, lingering in unexpected places and waiting to be rediscovered. The Mark Twain House, situated in Hartford, Connecticut, is a historic landmark with a literary legacy that's almost as compelling as its alleged supernatural phenomenon. This Victorian Gothic revival home was the residence of renowned author Mark Twain, born Samuel Clemens from 1874 to 1891. During this period, Twain penned some of his most famous works, including The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn and The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Now transformed into a museum, the house provides visitors with an insightful glimpse into Twain's life, his family, and his creative process. The museum showcases various artifacts, personal belongings, and first editions of his books, along with the preserved interiors that reflect Twain's unique style and taste. But beyond its cultural significance, the Mark Twain House has also become a hub for paranormal enthusiasts. Visitors and staff alike have reported mysterious occurrences within the house's walls, lending to its reputation as a haunted location. Strange noises, unexplained footsteps, and chilling drafts have been recounted by many. Even more intriguing is the common sighting of a woman in white, a spectral figure that's becoming something of a trope in ghostly lore. The most haunted room, according to various accounts, is the billiard room, where Twain used to sit, ponder over his works, and indulge in his habit of smoking cigars. Visitors have claimed to smell the distinct aroma of cigar smoke wafting through the air, even though no one is seen smoking. Some have heard phantom laughter, the clinking of billiard balls, or even felt a sudden drop in temperature. The ghostly phenomena aren't confined to this room alone. Other areas within the home have also been linked to supernatural experiences. Some believe that the hauntings might be tied to Twain's own complicated emotions and personal tragedies, including the loss of his beloved daughter Susie, who died in the house, and the financial hardships that forced him to eventually sell the property. Guided tours often include these ghostly tales, making the Mark Twain House not only an educational journey through literary history, but also an eerie and fascinating exploration into the unknown. Whether motivated by an interest in literature, history, or the paranormal, visitors to the Mark Twain house will find a rich tapestry of stories waiting to be discovered. With its towering 16 floors, over 1,000 rooms, and an awe-inspiring Gothic facade, the Masonic Temple stands as one of the most imposing architectural marvels in Detroit, Michigan. It's not only known for its grandeur, but also its many mysteries, including hidden passageways, secret staircases that snake through the building. The rumors of ghostly activity, however, are what make the temple truly stand out. The most famous urban myth linked to the temple revolves around its architect, George D. Mason. Legend has it that Mason, facing bankruptcy and personally funding the construction, leapt to his death from the building's roof. Although there's no concrete evidence to support this tragic tale, it has become a cornerstone of the Masonic Temple's ghost lore. Visitors and employees have reported eerie sightings and mysterious occurrences, often centered around the ghost of George D. Mason. Some claim to have seen a spectral figure climbing the steps to the roof, retracing the path Mason would have taken on that fateful day. Others have reported unexplained noises like footsteps echoing through empty halls or doors creaking open and shut without human intervention. Beyond the story of George Mason, the Masonic Temple's labyrinthine design has given rise to other ghostly legends. Some say that the hidden passageways and concealed rooms harbor secrets of the Masonic traditions, and that these shadowy corners are home to spirits tied to the temple's long and storied history. Paranormal investigators have been drawn to the building, with some reporting temperature drops, electronic malfunctions, and shadowy figures seen out of the corner of the eye. The temple's theater, with its rich history of performances, has been another focal point for supernatural activity. Ghostly applause has been heard when the room is empty, and actors have recounted experiences of feeling watched or encountering inexplicable cold spots on stage. The Masonic Temple, with its mixture of architectural beauty and ghostly lore, continues to captivate both tourists and locals alike. Whether these tales are figments of the imagination or have some basis in reality, they have become an indelible part of the temple's identity, adding another layer to Detroit's rich cultural landscape. One If by Land, Two If by Sea, located in the heart of New York City, is more than just a fine dining experience. Often regarded as one of the world's most romantic restaurants, it exudes elegance with gold chandeliers, fireside tables, and a menu featuring upper crust cuisine. But beyond its aesthetic appeal, the restaurant is renowned for its rich history and alleged hauntings, with around 20 ghosts said to inhabit the premise. The paranormal activities reported within the restaurant are more mischievous than malevolent. Staff and patrons alike have recounted classic phantom pranks like flickering lights, tilting picture frames, and moving plates. Cutlery is often found rearranged, chairs might be pulled out unexpectedly, and an unexplained cold breeze sometimes sweeps through the dining room. Some of the most famous apparitions include a mysterious woman dressed in black who has been seen gracefully descending the staircase. Her identity is unknown, but she is often connected with a sense of melancholy. Another frequently spotted ghost is a Ziegfeld Follies girl, a figure from the theatrical productions that were once the epitome of glamour and glitz in New York. Her appearances are often accompanied by faint echoing laughter or faint melody of a bygone era's music. Perhaps the most historically significant specter said to haunt the restaurant is Aaron Burr, the third Vice President of the United States, whose carriage house once occupied the site. Burr's connection to the property adds an extra layer of intrigue, as he was a controversial political figure, most known for his duel with Alexander Hamilton. While no one has reported hearing him perform songs from the Hamilton soundtrack, some have claimed to hear footsteps in a rhythm that matches his pace or even his distinct voice in hushed conversations. Despite these spectral encounters, the ambiance of One If by Land, Two If by Sea continues to draw couples seeking a romantic, if somewhat otherworldly, dining experience. The tales of hauntings have become a part of the restaurant's unique charm, blending the luxurious and mysterious into an unforgettable evening. Whether guests come for the gourmet food or a chance to glimpse something supernatural, the restaurant's blend of history, romance, and intrigue ensures a memorable experience. The Pine Barrens in New Jersey, a dense forest that spans more than 1 million acres and stretches across 7 counties, has a mysterious and chilling history, much of it centered around alleged hauntings. The enigmatic wilderness was once a thriving center during the colonial period, bustling with industry including sawmills, paper mills, ironworks, and glass factories. The area was alive with workers and their families, and small communities flourished. However, the prosperity was not to last. The discovery of coal to the west in Pennsylvania led to the abandonment of the mills in surrounding villages. Ghost towns were left in the wake as people moved away in search of new opportunities, and some say that the spirits of the past lingered on. Tales of supernatural occurrences began to circulate, adding an eerie dimension to the hauntingly beautiful landscape. The most infamous legend associated with the Pine Barrens is that of the Jersey Devil, a creature that has become synonymous with the area. According to local folklore, the Jersey Devil was born in 1735 to Deborah Leeds, her 13th child, a number often associated with superstition. The creature was described as having leathery wings, a goat's head, hooves, and a serpent tail. Legend has it that soon after birth, it flew up the Leeds chimney and into the wilds of the Barrens, where it has been reportedly haunting ever since. The stories of the Jersey Devil are not just confined to ancient folklore. Over the centuries, there have been numerous reported sightings and encounters, some of which have been documented. The creature has been blamed for the mysterious killings of livestock and pets, and even terrifying human encounters. Its eerie cries and chilling howls have been said to echo through the night, leaving an indelible mark on those who have claimed to hear them. In addition to the legend of the Jersey Devil, the Pine Barrens is said to host other supernatural phenomena. Some have reported ghostly apparitions, strange lights, and unexplained sounds. There are tales of haunted trails where phantom footsteps follow those who dare walk them. Abandoned structures are said to host unseen presences, leaving visitors with an unsettling sense of being watched. Historians, paranormal enthusiasts, and thrill seekers alike have all been drawn to the Pine Barrens, in part to investigate these alleged hauntings. The area has been the subject of numerous documentaries, books, and investigations by paranormal experts. Its complex history, combined with the chilling legends, has cemented the Pine Barrens as one of the most intriguing and mysterious places in New Jersey, making it a fascinating destination for those interested in exploring the unknown. Whether these tales are grounded in truth or merely products of vivid imaginations fueled by the eerie landscape, the Pine Barrens continues to be a place of intrigue and mystery, where the past seems to linger and the unknown waits just beyond the shadows. Oregonian pioneers Henry and Georgiana Pinnock, central figures in Portland's history, decided to build their dream house when they reached their golden years. In 1909, this vision led to the innovative design and construction of the Pinnock Mansion, a beautiful and grand 22-room estate perched atop the West Hills of Portland, Oregon. The home was designed to be both luxurious and technologically advanced for its time, boasting features like an intercom system, central vacuum, and an elevator. Unfortunately, the couple only got to enjoy their home for a few short years before passing away. Georgiana in 1918 and Henry in 1919. After their deaths, the mansion was passed down through the family until it was eventually acquired by the city of Portland and turned into a public landmark. But the story doesn't end there. The Pinnock Mansion has become renowned for some strange occurrences that have led many to believe it's haunted. Visitors and staff have reported unexplained events which they attribute to the lingering presence of the Pinnocks. The mysterious smell of roses has been known to fill a room with no flowers in it, a scent that seems to come from nowhere and disappears just as quickly. Georgiana was known for her love of gardening, and the rose gardens at the mansion were her pride and joy. Another inexplicable phenomenon is a childhood painting of Henry, which has allegedly been seen moving on its own from spot to spot within the house. Some claim to have witnessed the painting in different locations on multiple visits, even though no one has physically moved it. Others have reported hearing footsteps, seeing doors open and close without human intervention, and even feeling a gentle hand on their shoulder with no one there. The staff at the mansion have their own stories, including mysterious gusts of wind, unexplained chills, and the tinkling of piano keys from a room that's otherwise empty. These mysterious happenings have fostered a local legend, and the mansion has become a point of interest, not just for its architectural brilliance, but also for these alleged hauntings. Despite the eerie tales, the Pittock Mansion continues to attract visitors looking to explore its historical significance and possibly experience a brush with the supernatural. Clearly, death was not enough of a reason for the Pittocks to vacate their beloved home, and their spirits are thought by many to linger on, keeping a watchful eye over the mansion that they so lovingly created. The Sallie House is a well-known haunted location in Atchison, Kansas. It has gained a reputation for being one of the most haunted houses in the United States due to numerous reported paranormal experiences and encounters by various individuals who have lived in or visited the house. The haunting is said to revolve around the presence of a young girl named Sally. The history of the Sallie House dates back to the mid-1800s when it was built by Dr. Charles Finney. However, the most commonly cited period of reported paranormal activity occurred in the 1990s when a young couple named Tony and Deborah Pickman moved into the house with their young daughter Heidi. Tony and Deborah reported seeing the ghost of a young girl who they believed to be named Sally. She was described as wearing a white dress and having dark hair. Sally was often seen wandering around the house or playing with toys. There were accounts of objects moving on their own, doors slamming, and unexplained loud noises. This type of activity is often associated with poltergeists. Tony Pickman claimed to have been scratched by an unseen force on multiple occasions. The physical interaction added to the fear and intensity of the reported hauntings. EVP recordings, which are believed to capture the voices of spirits, were made in the house. Some of these recordings allegedly contained messages from the spirit of Sally. Visitors and paranormal investigators reported seeing strange lights and shadows moving around the house, even when no one else was present. Many individuals who entered the house reported feeling a heavy and oppressive atmosphere, as well as intense feelings of fear and dread. These reported experiences led to the Sallie House gaining notoriety in the paranormal community. Numerous paranormal investigators, psychics, and researchers visited the house to conduct investigations and gather evidence of the reported phenomena. Last year, J&M Paranormal conducted an overnight investigation at the Sallie House. The experience was one of the most haunting experiences I have ever been a part of. That video will be linked in the description below, and while you're down there, be sure to subscribe. The Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, located in Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada, is often associated with stories of hauntings and paranormal activity. While some of these stories are more speculative or rooted in legend, they have contributed to the hotel's reputation as a haunted destination. One of the most famous ghost stories revolves around a bride who reportedly fell down the hotel's marble staircase during her wedding in the 1930s. Legend has it that she tripped on her dress and tragically met her end at the bottom of the stairs. Guests and staff have reported seeing a veiled figure in a wedding gown descending the staircase, or her presence being felt near the staircase area. Another commonly recounted tale involves room 873. According to the story, a family was murdered in this room many years ago, and their spirits are said to linger. However, the hotel itself has removed the door to room 873, and the room is no longer accessible to guests. This has led to some speculation and intrigue surrounding the room's history. Sam McCauley, a former bellman at the hotel during the 1960s, is said to be a playful and mischievous spirit who still roams the halls. It is believed that he helps guests find their way or offer assistance, particularly during the nighttime hours. Reports of ghostly apparitions and eerie sounds have been associated with the hotel's ballroom. Some guests and staff have claimed to witness dancing figures in old-fashioned attire, even when the room is empty. In more recent years, guests have reported strange occurrences in room 692, including lights turning on and off by themselves and unexplained noises. These accounts have contributed to the hotel's haunted reputation. The Banff Springs Hotel has a distinctive bell tower that is often rumored to be haunted. Some visitors claim to have seen ghostly figures in or around the tower, adding to the hotel's aura of mystery. Are you brave enough to stay the night at the Banff Springs Hotel? The St. Augustine Lighthouse, located in St. Augustine, Florida, is known for its rich history and a number of paranormal experiences, which have led to its reputation as being haunted. While the accounts of hauntings are largely based on folklore, they have contributed to the lighthouse's mystique and popularity as a tourist attraction. One of the most well-known stories involves the tragic death of two lighthouse keepers during the construction of the original lighthouse in the late 1800s. It is said that during the construction, a cart carrying supplies plummeted into the water, dragging the workers along with it. The workers were killed instantly, and their spirits are believed to still linger around the lighthouse, causing mysterious occurrences and unexplained phenomena. Hezekiah Pitty was the superintendent during the construction of the current lighthouse tower. He fell to his death while painting the tower in 1859. Visitors and staff have reported seeing a figure matching Pitty's description, often dressed in clothing from the 1800s, around the lighthouse and the grounds. Some claim to have seen his ghostly figure at the top of the tower, looking out over the ocean. Many visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures moving about the lighthouse, hearing footsteps when no one is around, and even hearing disembodied voices. These experiences have contributed to the lighthouse's reputation as a place with paranormal activity. Another story involves the daughter of a lightkeeper who fell to her death while playing near the lighthouse stairs. Some people have claimed to hear giggling and the sound of children playing in the area, suggesting the presence of a playful spirit. The haunting of the St. Augustine Lighthouse has led to the establishment of ghost tours and paranormal investigations at the site. These tours often highlight the reported paranormal experiences and share the stories associated with the lighthouse's history. The haunted history of the St. Augustine Lighthouse continues to captivate the imagination of visitors and enthusiasts, adding to the lighthouse's unique charm and mystique. The Island of the Dolls is a small, eerie island located near Mexico City. It has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted places in Mexico due to its unsettling and macabre collection of dolls. The history of the island dates back to the mid-20th century and is associated with a man named Don Julian Santana Barrera. According to local legend, Barrera was the caretaker of the island and became obsessed with the tragic event that occurred in his past. Allegedly, he found the body of a young girl who had drowned in the canals near the island. Haunted by the girl's spirit, he began collecting discarded and damaged dolls from the surrounding area and hanging them around the island as a way to appease her spirit and protect the island from evil. Over time, Barrera covered the island with hundreds, if not thousands, of dolls. The dolls were often in various states of disrepair, missing limbs, heads, or eyes, creating a surreal and eerie atmosphere. He believed that the dolls held the power to ward off evil spirits and that he was in a spiritual battle with supernatural forces. Barrera's actions and the island's appearance attracted attention from both locals and visitors who were intrigued by the haunting spectacle. The island became a sort of tourist attraction, drawing people who were fascinated by its dark and unsettling ambiance. Tragically, Don Julian Santana Barrera passed away in 2001, reportedly drowning in the same canal where he found the young girl's body. Some believe his death was connected to the supernatural forces he had been trying to appease. Today, the Island of the Dolls continues to be a tourist destination, and its haunted reputation has only grown over the years. Visitors report feeling a sense of unease and eerie energy as they explore the island and its collection of dolls. Some claim to have experienced paranormal occurrences, such as hearing whispers, seeing the dolls move on their own, or feeling the presence of spirits. While the island's haunted history is steeped in legend and folklore, it has become a unique and unsettling place that captures the imagination of those who visit. It serves as a reminder of the power of belief, superstition, and the ways in which people grapple with tragedy and the unknown. The Menger Hotel, located in San Antonio, Texas, is often associated with stories of hauntings and paranormal activity. The hotel has a rich history that dates back to the mid-19th century, and its long existence has given rise to various tales of ghostly encounters and eerie experiences. While some of these stories are likely embellished or based on folklore, they contribute to the hotel's reputation as one of the most haunted places in Texas. One of the most famous ghost stories associated with the Menger Hotel is that of Sally White, a chambermaid who worked at the hotel in the late 1800s. According to the legend, Sally was murdered by her husband in the hotel and is said to haunt the premises. Guests and staff have reported encounters with a ghostly woman dressed in Victorian clothing, believed to be Sally. She has been seen in various parts of the hotel, including the hallways and lobby. Captain Richard King, the founder of the famous King Ranch in South Texas, was known to frequent the Menger Hotel during his visits to San Antonio. He was known for his love of gambling and was said to have a favorite gaming room at the hotel. Some people claim to have seen his ghostly figure in the hallways or the bar area. Aside from Sally White and Captain Richard King, there have been reports of other ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena in the hotel. Some guests have claimed to hear disembodied voices, footsteps, and strange noises. Objects reportedly move on their own and lights flicker without explanation. The Menger Hotel's haunted reputation is also bolstered by its preservation of its historic charm. The hotel's architecture, decor, and furnishings evoke a sense of stepping back in time, contributing to the eerie ambiance that can make ghost stories more believable. Whether you're a believer in the paranormal or a skeptic, the haunted history of the Menger Hotel adds an extra layer of intrigue to this iconic San Antonio landmark. Visitors can take guided tours to learn more about the hotel's history and stories of its spectral residents. The Himeji Castle is a historic and iconic castle located in Japan. While the castle is renowned for its architectural beauty and significance, there are also stories and legends associated with its haunted history. One of the most famous legends linked to Himeji Castle is the story of Okiku's Well. According to the tale, a servant named Okiku was falsely accused of stealing valuable plates by her jealous master. She was tortured and eventually thrown into the well to her death. It is said that Okiku's ghost still remains in the castle, counting the plates in a never-ending cycle. Visitors and locals have claimed to hear her counting and crying out. Another ghostly figure associated with the Himeji Castle is Lady Sen, who was the wife of Lord Honda Tadakatsu. Legend has it that she died tragically, and her spirit is still said to haunt the castle. Lady Sen is believed to be a protective spirit guarding the castle from harm. There is a story about a large black cat that is said to appear before disasters or significant events. This ghostly feline is said to be a bad omen, foretelling misfortune. Over the centuries, numerous reports of ghostly apparitions, strange sounds, and eerie occurrences have been linked to the Himeji Castle. Visitors and staff members have reported feeling an inexplicable sense of unease, hearing footsteps, whispers, and cries, and witnessing objects move on their own. Himeji Castle itself is a World Heritage Site and one of the most well-preserved and beautiful castles in Japan. Its construction dates back to the 14th century, and it has played a significant role in Japan's history. The castle's architecture, design, and defensive features make it a popular tourist attraction, drawing visitors from around the world. Whether or not you believe in its haunted history, Himeji Castle remains an important cultural landmark and a fascinating destination to explore. The Chateau de Chateaubriand is a historic castle located in the town of Chateaubriand in France. While the castle itself has a rich history dating back to the medieval period, it has also become associated with various legends and stories that contribute to its haunted reputation. One of the most famous tales linked to the haunted history of the Chateau de Chateaubriand revolves around the tragic love story of Francois de Foix and Jeanne de Laval. Francois was the mistress of King Francis I of France, and Jeanne de Laval was her husband. According to the legend, Jean de Laval discovered his wife's infidelity and confronted her and her lover at the castle. In a fit of rage and jealousy, he allegedly killed them both. It is said that their spirits still haunt the castle, with some claiming to have witnessed ghostly apparitions of a lady in white and a man wandering the grounds. Another eerie tale associated involves the ghost of a young girl named Anne. Anne was a historical figure who was twice the queen consort of France in the late 15th century. Legend has it that her ghost appears in a well in the castle, lamenting her marriages and expressing her sorrow. The well itself is sometimes referred to as the Well of Anne. These legends and stories have contributed to the castle's reputation as a haunted site. Over the years, various paranormal enthusiasts, visitors, and researchers have claimed to experience unexplained phenomena, including strange noises, cold spots, and apparitions while visiting the Chateau de Chateaubriand. The castle's historical significance, combined with its associations with tragic events and prominent historical figures, has only added to the allure of its haunted history. Whether or not you believe in the paranormal, the haunted history of the Chateau de Chateaubriand continues to captivate the imagination of those who visit or hear about its tales. The Villisca Axe Murder House is a well-known historical site located in Villisca, Iowa. It gained notoriety due to a gruesome and unsolved mass murder that occurred there on the night of June 10, 1912. The house itself was the scene of a brutal and horrifying crime, which has led to rumors and claims of paranormal activity over the years. On that fateful night, 6 members of the Moore family, consisting of Josiah and Sarah Moore and their 4 children, as well as 2 young house guests, were brutally bludgeoned to death with an axe while they slept. The killer or killers had entered the house during the night and committed the heinous act. The crime shocked the small town of Villisca and remains one of the most infamous unsolved murders in American history. Due to the gruesome nature of the murders and the lack of a definitive resolution to the case, the Villisca Axe Murder House has become a focal point for paranormal enthusiasts and investigators. Over the years, various reports of supernatural occurrences and ghostly activities have been claimed to take place within the house. These alleged incidents include unexplained footsteps, mysterious voices, doors slamming shut on their own, and even sightings of apparitions. Ghost hunters, paranormal investigators, and thrill seekers have visited the house in an attempt to capture evidence of these alleged supernatural events. Some visitors claim to have experienced strange sensations, heard unsettling sounds, or even seen apparitions believed to be the spirits of the murdered family members. The Villisca Axe Murder House has been preserved as a historic site and is open for guided tours. The house provides visitors with an opportunity to learn about the history of the crime, the investigations that took place, and the potential paranormal activity that is said to occur there. The house's haunted reputation has contributed to its popularity as a tourist attraction, drawing people from around the country interested in its eerie history and alleged supernatural phenomena. The Stanley Hotel, located in Estes Park, Colorado, is renowned for its rich history and reputation as one of the most haunted hotels in the United States. The hotel's haunted history has captivated the public's imagination and has inspired numerous stories, legends, and paranormal investigations. The Stanley Hotel was built by F.O. Stanley, an inventor and businessman, in 1909. It was originally intended to serve as a luxurious mountain retreat for the affluent. The stunning architecture, scenic views of the Rocky Mountains, and modern amenities of the time attracted visitors from around the country. Over the years, various ghostly sightings and encounters have been reported by guests and staff. Some of the most famous paranormal occurrences are attributed to former guests who are believed to still inhabit the hotel. F.O. Stanley and his wife Flora are said to make occasional appearances around the hotel. Guests have reported seeing Mr. Stanley in the lobby and billiard room, and Flora is often associated with the piano in the music room. It is said that the laughter and footsteps of children can be heard echoing through the hallways. Some believe these spirits to be children of former housekeepers who grew up in the hotel. Room 217. This room is perhaps the most famous haunted spot in the Stanley Hotel. It is said to be haunted by the spirit of a former housekeeper named Elizabeth Wilson, who was injured in an explosion in the room and subsequently passed away. Guests have reported encountering unexplained phenomena such as items moving on their own and lights flickering. The hotel's grand ballroom is also believed to be haunted by various spirits. Visitors have reported hearing phantom music and seeing apparitions of elegantly dressed people dancing. The fourth floor of the Stanley Hotel is known for its eerie ambiance. Guests have reported strange sounds, footsteps, and the feeling of being watched. Some claim to have encountered shadowy figures and unsettling sensations in this area. The Stanley Hotel gained widespread recognition as the inspiration for Stephen King's novel, The Shining. King and his wife stayed at the hotel in 1974, and the eerie atmosphere and reported paranormal activity reportedly played a role in inspiring the novel's iconic haunted hotel setting. While Stanley Kubrick's film adaptation was not shot at the hotel, the connection between The Shining and the Stanley Hotel has fueled its reputation as a haunted destination. Due to its haunted reputation, the Stanley Hotel offers guided tours and paranormal investigations for visitors interested in exploring its eerie history. These tours often share the stories of the hotel's ghosts, legends, and reported supernatural encounters. While the exact truth behind the hauntings remain a subject of debate, the Stanley Hotel's haunted history has become an integral part of its identity, attracting both paranormal enthusiasts and curious visitors from around the world. The stories and legends surrounding the Stanley Hotel continue to captivate and intrigue people to this day. The Pfister Hotel, located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, is renowned for its luxurious accommodations, but it has also gained a reputation for being haunted. The hotel's haunted history is a blend of urban legends, ghost stories, and guest testimonials that have contributed to its eerie reputation. One of the most famous stories revolves around the hotel's founder, Charles Pfister. Legend has it that Charles Pfister's ghost haunts the hotel to this day. Guests and staff have reported seeing a distinguished-looking man in clothing from the late 19th century, believed to be Charles Pfister himself. He is often spotted in the hallways, near the elevators, or in his former office. Some witnesses claim to have felt strong presence or seen a fleeting figure, attributing these experiences to the spirit of Charles Pfister. Another frequently recounted tale involves the Lady in Blue. The apparition is said to be a woman dressed in a flowing blue gown from the Victorian era. She is often seen wandering the halls of the hotel, appearing and disappearing mysteriously. Some speculate that she might have been a former guest who met an untimely end or a heartbroken lover seeking closure. Guests and staff members have reported various unexplained phenomena within the hotel. These include doors opening and closing on their own, lights flickering, sudden drops in temperature, and the feeling of being watched. Strange noises such as footsteps and whispers have also been reported when no one else is around. Thomas Worth, a well-known artist, took his own life in 1927 while staying at the Pfister Hotel. His death has contributed to the hotel's haunted reputation. Some guests claim to have encountered his spirit or experienced unsettling feelings near the area where he died. The Pfister Hotel's haunted history has attracted the attention of paranormal enthusiasts and investigators. Numerous paranormal teams have conducted investigations using equipment such as EMF meters, EVP recorders, and infrared cameras to capture potential evidence of supernatural activity. While some claim to have recorded unusual occurrences, skeptics argue that these findings could be easily explained by natural phenomena. The haunted tales surrounding the Pfister Hotel have become an integral part of its identity, adding an extra layer of intrigue to its rich history and luxurious atmosphere. The Ballygally Castle, located in Northern Ireland, is indeed associated with tales of haunting and paranormal activity. The castle's history dates back to the early 17th century, when it was built by James Shaw as a Scottish-style tower house. Over the centuries, it has undergone various renovations and changes, and its haunted history has become a prominent aspect of its allure. One of the most well-known and intriguing stories involves the Ghost Room, or Grey Lady. Legend has it that a former resident of the castle, Lady Isabella Shaw, was locked in this room by her husband. She fell to her death while trying to escape from the tower. It's said that her restless spirit now roams the castle, particularly in the Ghost Room, where guests have reported hearing strange noises, feeling cold drafts, and even claiming to have seen the apparition of a lady in a gray dress. Some accounts suggest that the ghostly figure might be looking for her lost child. In addition to the Grey Lady, other paranormal occurrences have been reported within the castle walls. Guests have claimed to hear unexplained footsteps, doors creaking, and even disembodied voices. Some have also reported the sensation of being touched or having their belongings moved without explanation. Local lore and tales passed down through generations contribute to the haunted reputation of Ballygally Castle. The castle's historic background, including its use as a garrison during times of conflict, further adds to the atmosphere of mystery and potential hauntings. The haunted history of Ballygally Castle has undoubtedly contributed to its unique and captivating character as a tourist destination. La Llorona, also known as the Weeping Woman, is a famous Mexican legend that has been passed down through generations. While there are various versions of the story in different locations associated with it, one of the notable places often linked to La Llorona's haunting is the Bridge of La Llorona in Mexico. The legend of La Llorona tells the tragic tale of a woman named Maria, who is said to have drowned her children in a fit of rage and despair after her husband abandoned her for a younger woman. Overwhelmed with guilt and remorse, she is said to wander the earth, particularly near bodies of water like rivers or bridges, wailing and searching for her lost children. Her ghostly cries are believed to be an omen of death, and many people claim to have heard her mournful wails late at night. The Bridge of La Llorona is a real historic bridge located in Durango, Mexico. This bridge dates back to the 19th century and spans the Ajula River. It has gained notoriety as a location where people claim to have encountered La Llorona or heard her cries, especially at night. Visitors and locals often share chilling stories of experiencing strange occurrences near the bridge. Some have reported hearing the sound of a woman weeping or wailing, even when no one is visible. Others claim to have seen a ghostly figure in white near the bridge, believed to be La Llorona herself. People have reported feeling an eerie and unsettling presence when passing by the bridge after dark. These alleged paranormal experiences have contributed to the bridge's reputation as a haunted location and have attracted curious individuals interested in ghostly encounters and the legend of La Llorona. The Winchester Mystery House is a famous mansion located in San Jose, California, known for its unique and allegedly haunted history. It was the personal residence of Sarah Winchester, widow of William Wirt Winchester, the heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company fortune. The mansion's history is shrouded in mystery and urban legends, making it a popular destination for tourists interested in the supernatural. The legend goes that after the death of her husband and infant daughter, Sarah Winchester sought guidance from a medium who allegedly told her that her family was cursed by the spirits of those killed by the Winchester rifles. She was told that in order to appease these spirits and ensure her own safety, she needed to continuously build and expand her house. Sarah Winchester began construction on the mansion in 1884, and it continued for nearly 38 years until her death in 1922. During this time, the house underwent constant renovations and additions, resulting in a sprawling and labyrinthine structure. The design of the mansion is said to be influenced by Sarah's beliefs in spiritualism and her desire to confuse or appease the vengeful spirits. There are staircases that abruptly end at ceilings or doors, suggesting that they were built to confuse or deter any malevolent spirits from following her. Some doors open directly into walls, creating an illusion of a continuous pathway. Some windows overlook interior rooms, again adding to the maze-like design of the house. The mansion is rumored to have secret passages and rooms, further fueling the speculation of its haunted nature. Many aspects of the house, such as rooms, windows, and stairs, are said to be arranged in multiples of 13, a number associated with bad luck. The mansion's history and architecture certainly lend themselves to a spooky narrative, making it an intriguing destination for those interested in both history and the supernatural. The Amityville house, located in Amityville, New York, is famous for its alleged haunting and has been the subject of numerous books, movies, and documentaries. The haunting story revolves around the Lutz family, who moved into the house at 112 Ocean Avenue in December 1975, shortly after a tragic event took place there. In November 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered 6 members of his family in the house. He claimed that voices in the house had compelled him to commit the killings. DeFeo was later convicted of the murders and is currently serving life in prison. The Lutz family, unaware of the gruesome history, moved into the Amityville house just over a year later. However, they claimed to experience a series of terrifying and paranormal occurrences during their 28-day stay, which led them to flee the house in fear. The Lutz family claimed they would smell foul odors, often resembling strange and sulfurous scents throughout the house. They reported sudden drops in temperature in certain areas of the house, despite the thermostat being set at a comfortable level. The family heard loud banging noises, footsteps, and other unexplained sounds, often coming from the basement or attic. They claimed to have seen glowing red eyes staring at them from the windows, as well as shadowy figures and apparitions. Family members experienced scratches, bruises, and other unexplained injuries while in the house. In one particularly disturbing incident, the house was reportedly infested with swarms of flies during the winter, which was seen as a paranormal occurrence. The Lutz's family experience was detailed in the book titled The Amityville Horror, written by Jay Anson and published in 1977. The book became a bestseller and led to a series of movies based on the events. The Amityville haunting remains a famous and controversial case in the realm of paranormal phenomena, capturing the imagination of many and contributing to popular culture's fascination with haunted houses and supernatural occurrences. The Lizzie Borden house, located in Fall River, Massachusetts, is infamous for its connection to the gruesome murders of Andrew and Abby Borden in 1892. Lizzie Borden, Andrew's daughter, was accused of the murders but was ultimately acquitted. The case remains one of the most famous unsolved mysteries in American criminal history and has contributed to the house's reputation as a haunted location. The murders took place on August 4, 1892, when Andrew and Abby Borden were brutally killed with a hatchet. Lizzie Borden was the primary suspect due to conflicting statements she gave to the police, along with other circumstantial evidence. However, she was acquitted after a high-profile trial that garnered significant media attention. Despite the acquittal, suspicion and rumors of Lizzie's guilt persisted, and the house itself became associated with the tragic events. Over the years, reports of paranormal activity, strange occurrences, and ghostly sightings have fueled the haunted reputation of the Lizzie Borden house. Visitors and staff members have claimed to see the apparitions of Andrew and Abby Borden roaming the house. Some have reported seeing shadowy figures, hearing footsteps, and feeling cold spots. Unexplained voices and whispers have been heard throughout the house. Some believe these voices could be the spirits of the murder victims. Objects reportedly move on their own as if being manipulated by an unseen force. This phenomena has been attributed to the spirits of the Bordens. Many visitors have reported feeling like they are being watched or followed, even when they are alone in certain rooms. Some paranormal investigators claim to have captured EVP recordings of ghostly voices and responses to questions during their investigations in the house. The Lizzie Borden house has become a popular destination for ghost tours, paranormal investigations, and enthusiasts interested in the macabre and supernatural. The house's association with the gruesome murders, its historical significance, and the enduring mystery surrounding the case continue to attract curiosity and interest from people seeking to explore its haunted history. The Joshua Ward House, located in Salem, Massachusetts, is a historic building with a reputation for being haunted. The house is named after Joshua Ward, a wealthy merchant and ship owner who built the mansion in the 1780s. While the house itself has a rich history, its haunted reputation is often tied to a specific event and a connection to the infamous Salem witch trials of 1692. The house is built on the site where the infamous Sheriff George Corwin's home once stood. George Corwin played a role in the witch trials as the high sheriff who carried out the arrests, imprisonment, and executions of those accused of witchcraft. One of the most well-known victims of the witch trials, Giles Corey, was pressed to death by heavy stones on this very property. Corey's death is said to have been a particularly gruesome and drawn-out ordeal. It is believed that the haunted history of the Joshua Ward house is connected to the tragic events of the witch trials and the lingering energy associated with the persecution and suffering that occurred during that time. Visitors and staff members have reported various paranormal experiences within the house. Some claim to have seen the ghostly figure of Giles Corey, who is said to appear in the upper floors or the basement of the house, where he was pressed to death. Others have reported seeing shadowy figures and mysterious apparitions throughout the building. There have been reports of unexplained noises, objects moving on their own, and doors slamming shut without any apparent cause. Visitors have described sudden drops in temperature and cold spots in certain areas of the house, which is often associated with paranormal activity. Many people who visit the Joshua Ward house report feeling a sense of unease, discomfort, or even intense emotions, especially in the basement where Giles Corey met his tragic end. Some visitors have reported electronic devices malfunctioning or behaving strangely when inside the house. The haunted history of the Joshua Ward house in Massachusetts is tied to its connection to the Salem witch trials and the tragic events that occurred on its grounds. The stories of apparitions, poltergeist activity, and eerie sensations have contributed to its reputation as a place with paranormal activity, attracting both history enthusiasts and those interested in the supernatural. Prospect Place, located in Trinway, Ohio, is often regarded as one of the most haunted locations in the state. The history and reported paranormal activity at Prospect Place have contributed to its reputation as a haunted site. Prospect Place was built in the mid-19th century by George W. Adams, a prominent abolitionist and advocate for the Underground Railroad. The mansion served as a stop on the Underground Railroad, a network of secret routes and safe houses used to help enslaved individuals escape to freedom. Adams was committed to aiding fugitive slaves, and it is believed that the mansion's hidden rooms and passages were used to shelter and hide escaped slaves on their journey north. Over the years, various paranormal experiences and legends have emerged about Prospect Place. Visitors and staff members have claimed to witness apparitions of both George Adams and his wife, as well as unidentified ghostly figures. These apparitions are often seen in different parts of the mansion and on the surrounding grounds. Eerie whispers, disembodied voices, and unexplained sounds have been reported throughout the mansion. Some believe these sounds are connected to the residual energy of the Underground Railroad activities. Sudden drops in temperature and cold spots are frequently reported in certain areas of the mansion, even when the rest of the room feels warm. Many visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures moving around the mansion, often disappearing when approached. Doors are said to open and close on their own, sometimes with considerable force, leading to speculation that unseen entities may be responsible. Some people have reported feeling a sense of unease, being watched, or an overwhelming feeling of sadness when visiting certain parts of the mansion. Visitors have captured photographs that appear to show unexplained orbs, mists, and other anomalies, suggesting a possible presence of spirits. Objects moving on their own, seemingly without any logical explanation, have been reported by both visitors and staff. Prospect Place remains a historically significant location with ties to the Underground Railroad and the abolitionist movement, making it a fascinating destination for those interested in history and the unknown. If you decide to visit, you might have the chance to experience the eerie atmosphere and hear the tales of its haunted history firsthand. St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 is a historic cemetery located in New Orleans, Louisiana, known for its rich history, unique above-ground tombs, and various legends that have contributed to its reputation as being haunted. The cemetery dates back to 1789 and is one of the oldest and most famous cemeteries in the city. One of the most well-known legends associated with the cemetery is that of Marie Laveau, a famous practitioner of voodoo in New Orleans during the 19th century. She is believed to have been buried in the cemetery, and her tomb has become a popular destination for visitors seeking to make wishes or seek her blessings. It is said that people draw 3 X's on her tomb, turn around 3 times, and knock on the tomb to have their wishes granted. Like many old cemeteries, St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 has its share of stories about restless spirits and ghosts. Some visitors and workers have reported seeing apparitions, hearing footsteps, and experiencing other eerie phenomena. These stories have contributed to the cemetery's reputation as a haunted site. Many of the above-ground tombs in the cemetery have intricate designs and architecture, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Some tombs have been associated with paranormal activity, such as inexplicable cold spots, unexplained noises, and feelings of being watched. Actor Nicolas Cage purchased a distinctive pyramid-shaped tomb in the St. Louis Cemetery No. 1, which has added to the cemetery's mystique. Cage, who has had his share of financial and personal challenges, reportedly chose this unique resting place as a way to connect with the city's history and culture. The cemetery's association with voodoo practices and legends has contributed to its haunted reputation. Voodoo has a long history in New Orleans and is often linked to spiritual beliefs and practices that can be both intriguing and mysterious. These stories have become part of the cultural fabric of New Orleans and have added to the allure of the city's unique and diverse heritage. Whether you're a believer in the supernatural or simply intrigued by history and legends, a visit to St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 can offer a captivating and memorable experience. The Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp in Florida is indeed known for its haunted history and paranormal activity. It is considered one of the oldest and most renowned spiritualist communities in the United States. The Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp was founded in the late 1800s by George P. Colby, a trance medium who claimed to have received messages from a Native American spirit named Seneca. Colby and his followers believed in spiritualism, a belief system that posits the existence of spirits and the ability to communicate with them through mediums. The camp has attracted numerous psychic mediums, healers, and spiritual practitioners over the years. Many people visit Cassadaga seeking spiritual guidance, psychic readings, and communication with deceased loved ones. The high concentration of psychic energy and communication with spirits is believed to contribute to the camp's paranormal reputation. Several buildings in Cassadaga are rumored to be haunted. The Andrew Jackson Davis Educational Building, the Colby Memorial Temple, and the Cassadaga Hotel are among the locations where visitors have reported paranormal experiences. People claim to have witnessed apparitions, strange noises, unexplained lights, and other eerie phenomena. The Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp shares similarities with the Lily Dale Assembly in New York, another renowned spiritualist community. Both places have a long history of mediumship and spiritual practices. The similarity between these two communities reinforce the perception of Cassadaga as a hub of supernatural activity. Throughout the year, the camp hosts several events such as seances, ghost tours, and paranormal investigations. These events draw people interested in the supernatural and contribute to the reputation of Cassadaga as a haunted destination. Many visitors and residents of Cassadaga claim to have had personal experiences with spirits or ghosts. These experiences range from encounters with deceased loved ones during camp readings to witnessing unexplained phenomena in various locations around the camp. The Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp remains a fascinating and unique destination for those interested in exploring spiritualism, psychic phenomena, and the paranormal. The Glore Psychiatric Museum, located in St. Joseph, Missouri, is known for its eerie and haunting history related to its origin as part of a mental health institution. The museum is situated within the grounds of what was once the St. Joseph State Hospital, later renamed the St. Joseph State Lunatic Asylum. The institution was established in the mid-19th century and underwent several name changes and transformations over the years. The haunted history of the Glore Psychiatric Museum is primarily associated with the often disturbing and controversial practices that were common in the psychiatric care during the 19th and early 20th centuries. Mental health treatments and therapies of that era were often crude, inhumane, and sometimes even torturous by modern standards. Patients at the asylum endured a range of experimental procedures, restraints, and other methods that are now considered unethical. The museum itself is said to be haunted by the spirits of former patients who suffered within the walls of the institution. Visitors and staff have reported experiencing strange phenomena such as unexplained footsteps, disembodied voices, and the feeling of being watched. Some claim to have seen apparitions or shadows moving throughout the museum. Additionally, the museum houses a collection of artifacts, photographs, and medical instruments used in the treatment of mental illness throughout history. Many of these items evoke a sense of eeriness and discomfort, contributing to the overall haunted atmosphere of the museum. The museum itself focuses on educating visitors about the history of mental health treatment and aims to shed light on the evolution of psychiatric care practices. Whether or not you believe in the supernatural, the museum provides a chilling glimpse into the often dark and unsettling history of mental health treatment. The Exorcist House, also known as the Exorcism of Roland Doe, is associated with the real-life events that inspired the famous horror novel and subsequent movie The Exorcist. While the events primarily took place in Maryland and not St. Louis, the connection to St. Louis comes from the involvement of two priests who performed exorcism rites on the afflicted boy Roland Doe at the Alexian Brothers Hospital in St. Louis, Missouri. In the late 1940s and early 1950s, a series of strange and disturbing occurrences were reported involving a teenage boy named Roland Doe. He was said to exhibit behaviors that were attributed to possession, such as speaking in languages he did not know, levitating, and showing aversion to religious objects. These events allegedly began after Roland attempted to contact his deceased aunt using a Ouija board. Roland's family, unable to find a medical or psychological explanation for his behavior, sought the help of the Catholic Church. Father Raymond J. Bishop conducted an exorcism, but it reportedly had limited success. The case then came to the attention of Father William S. Bowdern, a professor at St. Louis University and a priest at the St. Francis Xavier Church. With the permission of the Archbishop, Father Bowdern and his associates performed a series of exorcism rites on Roland at the Alexian Brothers Hospital in St. Louis. The exorcism in St. Louis lasted several weeks and was a harrowing ordeal. During the rituals, Roland reportedly displayed violent and otherworldly behavior, and it is said that his condition worsened before finally improving. The events were kept relatively secret at the time, but they eventually came to light when author William Peter Blatty based his novel The Exorcist on these events. The novel was later adapted into a highly successful and influential movie in 1973. The St. Louis exorcism has become a subject of fascination and has contributed to the lore of the Exorcist house in St. Louis. While the actual events took place at the Alexian Brothers Hospital, the house itself has gained a reputation for being haunted due to its association with the exorcism story. Over the years, reports of paranormal activity, strange occurrences, and eerie feelings have been linked to the house. The Exorcist house in St. Louis continues to attract interest from those curious about the supernatural and paranormal, even though its exact location has been kept private to protect the privacy of its occupants. Asylum 49 was originally established as the Tooele Valley Hospital in 1913. Over the years, it has served as a hospital, nursing home, and finally, a psychiatric treatment facility. The location's history as a place of healing, suffering, and death has contributed to the eerie atmosphere and tales of hauntings. Numerous paranormal reports and claims have been made by visitors, paranormal investigators, and former staff members of Asylum 49. Visitors have claimed to see apparitions of former patients and staff wandering the halls. Some accounts describe shadowy figures and ghostly nurses. Eerie sounds, including disembodied voices, cries, and whispers, have been reported throughout the building. Some visitors claim to have heard moaning and other unsettling noises. Objects allegedly move on their own, and doors are said to open and close without any explanation. Sudden drops in temperature or cold spots have been experienced by many visitors, even in areas where there is no logical source for such temperature changes. People often report feelings of being watched, touched, or an overall sense of unease when exploring the building. Over time, various urban legends and stories have developed around Asylum 49, adding to its mystique. These stories often involve tragic events, patient mistreatment, and unsolved mysteries, contributing to the perception of the location as haunted. Asylum 49 has attracted the attention of paranormal investigators and enthusiasts who seek to document and understand the reported supernatural activity. Some have conducted investigations using tools such as EMF meters, EVP recordings, and thermal cameras. In recent years, Asylum 49 has been transformed into a commercial haunted house attraction. While the haunted house is designed for entertainment purposes and features actors and horror-themed scenarios, it has further contributed to the location's reputation as a haunted site. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, the haunted history of Asylum 49 continues to intrigue and captivate those who are drawn to the mysteries of the supernatural. The Adams House in Deadwood, South Dakota, is often associated with stories of hauntings and paranormal activity. The history of the house, combined with the town's colorful past, has contributed to the legends of ghosts and eerie occurrences within its walls. The Adams House was built in 1892 for Harris Franklin Adams, a prominent businessman in Deadwood. The house is an excellent example of Queen Anne-style architecture, showcasing intricate detailing and ornate design. Over the years, the Adams family and subsequent owners left their mark on the house, making it a significant historical site in Deadwood. One of the most well-known stories involves the apparition of a woman dressed in white clothing. It is said that she appears in various parts of the house, often accompanied by a faint floral fragrance. Some believe this woman might be one of the Adams family members or a former resident who has not moved on. Visitors and staff have reported hearing the sounds of children laughing and playing, as well as the sound of footsteps running up and down the stairs. These sounds are often attributed to the spirits of children who may have lived or visited the house in the past. Some people claim to have experienced sudden drops in temperature even in rooms with no apparent source of cold air. Unexplained drafts, doors opening and closing on their own, and feelings of being watched are also part of the reported paranormal activity. There have been accounts of objects seemingly moving on their own accord or being displaced without any logical explanation. This phenomenon is often linked to poltergeist activity where unseen forces manipulate objects. People have reported seeing full-body apparitions and shadowy figures moving throughout the house. These sightings contribute to the eerie atmosphere and reputation of the Adams house as a haunted location. The haunted history of the Adams house in Deadwood continues to capture the imagination of visitors and adds to the mystique of the town's Wild West past. Theorosa's Bridge refers to an urban legend associated with a supposedly haunted bridge in Valley Center, Kansas. The legend has circulated for decades, and while there are various versions of the story, the core elements typically remain the same. According to the legend, the bridge is named after a young woman named Theorosa who tragically died under mysterious circumstances. Her death is often attributed to a murder, a suit, or an accident, depending on the version of the story. The story goes that Theorosa's death was never properly explained or resolved, leading to her restless spirit haunting the area around the bridge. Her ghost is said to appear on certain nights, usually seeking justice or closure for her untimely death. People have claimed to experience various paranormal phenomena when visiting the bridge. These include hearing eerie sounds, witnessing strange lights, feeling sudden drops in temperature, and even encountering the apparition of Theorosa herself. Some versions of the legend suggest that if you park your car on the bridge and turn off the engine, it may mysteriously start on its own. As with many urban legends, there are also stories of specific rituals or actions that visitors can perform to invoke Theorosa's ghost. These might include calling her out by name, honking car horns, or leaving offerings at the site. Like any urban legend, the details of this story can vary over time and from teller to teller. The name Theorosa itself is a combination of Theo and Rosa, which are supposedly the names of the two lovers involved in the tragedy. The exact circumstances of Theorosa's death and the reasons for her haunting can also differ. As with many urban legends, Theorosa's Bridge serves as a fascinating example of how folklore and storytelling can shape perceptions of a place and create a sense of mystery and intrigue. Thank you for watching. To hear more content just like this, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Please leave a comment below and let us know what locations you'd like to hear more about. Until next time, stay curious.